Hello, TSIS, and welcome to our third pep talk and the second part of our two-series virtual pep talk. I trust everything is good and that we are very thankful that Thailand continues to deal with the pandemic successfully with no local transmissions reported in the past 3 weeks. We are truly sad for all the lives lost and all the families left behind, to all individuals who had to suffer from the disease, those whose employment have been affected one way or another, companies and families whose businesses have suffered or had to close shop at worst, and for everyone whose lives have been adversely affected by the pandemic. Let us offer a moment of silence as we condole with our fellow human beings and show our sympathy towards those who have suffered. It is our fervent hope that we could go back to normalcy. And by normalcy, we are referring to the new normal, given that we cannot really go back to our previous state with all the changes we have to deal with as a consequence of the pandemic. I have heard from a lot of pupils that they cannot wait to go back to school. That is physically, as studying is just really different when it is done remotely and virtually than when you are face to face with your teachers and are interacting with your classmates and friends. That I can totally relate and agree with. But since the shift of our classes to home-based learning, I have been in a kind of limbo as well, with basically everything we have planned for the remaining of the school year suddenly put on hold or indefinitely postponed. I have had several amnesia episodes when I totally have forgotten what day it is as well. Still, we are thankful that despite the pandemic and the difficult adjustments we all have to deal with, we have the opportunity to continue learning and we have everything we need to make this possible. Millions of learners from across the globe are struggling to cope with the pandemic, and it remains a challenge for them how they can continue schooling remotely and virtually given that they have no devices and no internet connections in the first place, the tools essential to an effective online learning program like ours. This I hope would also help us become more grateful for the things that we continue to enjoy and the same thing and at the same time change our perspective towards schooling, friendship, blessings, health, and life in general. So despite the distance, we can still make things possible. And today, we are holding our second virtual pep talk right at the comfort of your homes. Today, we are going to be connected with everyone in the secondary department. But first, let me discuss with you the rules of our online soiree. So during this session, we would like and we ask everyone's the microphone, to remain muted and video cameras to be off. Also, please switch off your monitor layout to sidebar so you would be able to see the presentation and at the same time, those who are speaking on the side. Should you have questions later, please send it in the chat box and the Q&A facilitator will take note of it. Our Q&A facilitator is Emil Dean, and he will inform you that your question has been shortlisted and that you will be called later and be given the floor to raise the question to our speaker during the Q&A portion. When you are called during the Q&A portion, please open your video camera and unmute your mic. Please greet our guests appropriately, and then you may then proceed with your question. You can also do a follow-up question if you have one. And when you are done, say thank you and switch off your microphones and video cameras off as well. Okay, so last Saturday, on the first part of our of this two-series virtual pep talk, we had a guest from San Francisco, California. That was Mr. Bach, a successful marketing manager for Google. For today's session, we have a young female guest from the other side of the world as well, who, thanks to technology, we would be able to interact with. Our guest is a Thai patisserie, if that is how it is pronounced, who was able to successfully get into one of the prominent hotel and restaurants in Paris as a pastry chef or a baker. Lee Maurice, later our guest will tell me how to pronounce it correctly, is a five-star palatial hotel which was opened in 1815, so that was in the 19th century, and it is situated right in the center of Paris. And in the heart of this iconic luxury hotel is the restaurant, which is a two-star Michelin restaurant. And our guest is one of the prominent pastry crew of that restaurant. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we welcome our guest for this afternoon. Miss Kesarin Rokpak Disawat, or Miss Fern for short. Your last name is very difficult to pronounce. How are you, Miss Fern?
Hello, how are you, everyone? I'm good. I'm doing fine here.
Okay. So, well, you are a blogger, so you should not be nervous about this thing, right?
I'm really nervous because this is my first time I'm doing a pep talk.
Okay.
Because I'm really nervous.
Okay. But you'll do well.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's just think that we are casually talking. I'm nervous as well. We both are. Okay. So let's talk about Paris first. You are in Paris. It's one of the most romantic cities in the world, but it is still in lockdown right now. So
Oh
could you
no,
please tell us what it's like? Is it still in lockdown?
no, not at all. Right now,
Not
it's
anymore.
all the thing open. Right now, it's normal, but you still have to wear masks when you want to go to the supermarket or shopping, something like this. That the restaurant is open, school is open, and um, the mall is open already.
Okay. So, but when did Paris was open again? When was the lockdown lifted?
Uh, 11, 11 June this
June
year.
11th. Oh, okay. So we have in the pictures right now being shown what Paris was like during the lockdown. So it was really deserted. And I believe that you were quarantined at the same time because you were not allowed. I mean, everyone was quarantined. Nobody was allowed to go out at all.
True. It's been 3 months for quarantine. And it's like that, as you can see from the photo. Yes.
But
We,
you can still go out and go to work, or go buy
we
whatever
can
or
buy
something.
food and go exercise, but we have to apply the form on internet, and we allowed to go out once a day and less than an hour.
Okay. And you need to bring a paper that you should
Yes.
show to the policeman.
Yes. If you don't have a printer at home, you have to write down.
Oh, okay. And how was it for you? The 3 months that you were locked down, I mean, you were quarantined in your home.
Uh, as everybody, I watch all the Netflix series. I didn't
Okay.
do much. I tried to do cake, a pastry at home too, but in the same time, everybody do the same thing with me. So I cannot buy the sugar flour because it's so out. And
Oh, okay. So there was a problem with the supply chain as well.
yes,
Oh, I see. So I think everyone really has difficulty during the lockdown. Now,
yeah.
I have seen in one of your blog and also in some of the Thai blogs that you actually uh, became COVID-19 positive. Is it true?
Actually, in Paris, in
Mm-hmm.
France, there are many
Yeah.
cases, like many cases, more than 100,000 cases. So I I have the symptom. I have a fever.
Mm-hmm.
I cough. I can't sense the smell, and my colleague at work, like they all have it, and they got a positive case because they tasted before it locked down. But mine, it's between the lockdown, so I try to call the hospital. I try to call emergency call and everybody to call the doctor, and they said like in my case, if I still can breathe by myself, so I should stay home and take a rest at home, take care of myself at home. It's better because there are many people out there worse than me.
Worse in your case.
Yeah.
So you manage yourself at home. You are not
Yes.
allowed to go to the hospital at all.
No, we can't. We can't go to hospital. We The only thing is if we have a really bad case, the hospital will come to us. Like they will send the emergency car and pick us up.
So how did you know that you were already cured? How did you know that you didn't have COVID-19 anymore?
I cannot say that I'm sure 100%, but I cough for 4 weeks, and
Mhm.
after 4 weeks, I can sense the smell, and I feel better. I don't have fever at all. I assumed that I'm cured, but I didn't go out anywhere for like 2 months later.
Uh, so there was no testing at all, like government or any hospital medics coming to you to test?
I didn't do any taste because I can't. It doesn't mean that I don't want to. I want to. I asked them, I begged them, like, please take me to hospital. But they were like, no, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why.
Well, the good thing is that you are okay now,
Yes.
and yeah, you don't have a cough. You're basically, if ever had you had COVID, if you're basically healed now.
Yeah.
And during the time when you had COVID-19, how did you feel? Like you are so far away, you are alone, your family is back here. How did you feel? What kind of emotions did the disease invoke in you?
I was so overwhelmed. The worst thing is not about the disease. It's about I don't have friends and family here. I was all alone and no one can come to see me too because it's locked down.
Mhm.
So that's the worst part. The difficult time is like when when you were in home in Thailand, you can say that can someone please bring me to hospital or can someone just take me to see the doctor or something like this. I have my phone, but I don't know who should I call, like who can I call or something. That's quite sad.
So how did you get over that emotion? Did you have to call your family all the time or
Yeah.
make vlogs or what did you do?
Um, I call my family all the time, yes, and my family call me every day too. And um, I don't know. I try to think positive. I want to go back home. I still want to do a lot of things, and I think it's because maybe I still young. I'm still young, and that's why I can cure easier than
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I read that you get severely affected by COVID if you are much older and if you
Yeah.
have comorbidities. Yeah, and it's a good thing that you are young and you are healthy. And we wish for everyone as well who have the disease to be able to be cured as well. Okay, now let's talk about you being in Paris. Um, why in the first place are you in Paris? Why did you decide to even go there or to work there?
Uh,
How did you find your job? How did you land your job? Could you please tell us your experience, work experience?
yes, Paris because I my career is like doing a French pastry. If not Paris, I don't know where should I go. It's the best place to learn and to be better. The thing is, I study in Le Cordon Bleu in Thailand, to seek Thailand first. And after that, I work in Thailand for like 2 years and a half. And then I realized that uh, there's no one can teach me more than this. So I decide to come to Paris, come to France to study more about chocolate because I really am really interested in chocolate making. So I came here for study actually, but uh, I got a chance to work here. Actually, it's not like a chance because after study, I have to do internship, and after internship, if I work good enough, like that's why they hire me.
So, are you already considered to be a worker there, or are you still in intern or apprenticeship
No,
stage?
I told my dad I'm gonna come here for like a year, but yes, it's been 2 years and a half already.
Mhm. Okay, so when you arrived in Paris, what challenges did you have to face, especially when you were because you're schooling, right? And well, you're new in the place. So, what challenges did you have to face, and how did you deal with it?
Oh, the challenge is about the language because French people they don't really speak English, and
Mhm.
in the beginning I didn't speak French at all. I know bonjour and merci. It means hello and thank you. That's all I know. I have to study French here in the school for a year, the whole year, and then
Mhm.
yes, and then the next year I start study about chocolate, and I got a chance to do internship in Paris, in Hotel Plaza Athénée. That's why it
So,
took me to Le Maurice.
so while you're doing your apprenticeship and schooling, have you ever, because this is the one of the relevant social issues that we have now, racism. Have you experienced racism while you were in Paris and while you were doing your job as an apprentice? And has your being an Asian ever became some kind of hindrance for you to become successful in what you do?
Well, for me, I don't know, maybe I'm lucky. I don't have the racist problem in my workplace or any school, but I don't take it as a racist when I walk in the street and people say ni hao or something like this. I try to think positive. Maybe they want to talk to me, they want to greeting me like in the language that I might know, which I not, but that's why. So sometimes I say like salam alaikum with them too.
So they thought you are Chinese.
Yes, yeah, yes.
Are you Thai Chinese or are you pure Thai?
I'm 100% Chinese actually.
Oh, that is why.
Born in Thailand, and I don't speak Chinese at all.
Mhm. Okay, but you don't think badly about you being, I mean, people thinking about you being Chinese or anything.
No, because it's true. My parents
Yeah.
are Chinese, and if they say ni hao, it means they want to talk to me. They want to. There's nothing harass.
Okay. There's nothing offensive about it at all.
Not,
Okay. So when you decided to move to Paris, work in Paris, study there, how did your parents handle your decision on leaving Thailand
I asked them for 5 years before they
for
allowed.
5 years?
5 years, every year, like please let me go because I have the health problem. I have the Crohn disease. It's about like intestine infected or something.
Mhm.
But so they worry about me. They don't believe that I can just live there out like in abroad by myself or something like this. So
Mhm.
it takes 5 years.
It took you 5 years to um, finally allow your parents, ask your parents to allow you to go to
Yes,
Paris. Okay. And they have your total support. I mean, you have your total support now.
yes, yes.
And by support, what kind of support do you get from them?
Everything, everything.
Everything.
I can say that everything. Sometimes um, as a Chinese parents, they want us to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or something like that, not a pastry chef.
Mhm.
From that generation, they don't understand. Pastry chef is something you work in the kitchen. It's like you cooking. It's
Yeah.
not a job that really fancy.
Mhm.
So they kind of worry. Yes. But I prove them. I think you cannot get things so easily like that. So I proved them for 5 years that I really want to do this. I want to go to France to study more because I want to be better. I want to be a 30 years old woman who studied in France, not a 30 years old woman who want to study in France.
Mhm. Okay. So you mentioned earlier that people think that being a pastry baker is not fancy. But what is exactly a pâtissier? How do you even pronounce it?
It's pâtisserie,
Pâti- Pâtissier? Oh yeah,
pâtissier, like
pâtissier. Okay, what is a pâtissier and what do you do? And what is your how is your life as a pâtissier in Paris?
it's because in France it's the original
Mhm.
patisserie.
Mhm.
So they separate everything. Chocolate is chocolate, Patisserie is like pastry, cake, cookie, everything you go to the oven and bake, but not the bread. The bread is another thing.
Mhm.
So I do like I make a cake, I make a cookie, and I came here to study more about chocolate. And as you can see from the photo, I'm making a sugar showpiece.
Yeah, it looks so beautiful. You cannot eat that thing. You just, display it.
You can eat it if you want, but
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a waste, right? It looks so beautiful.
yeah.
How long would it take you to create something like that?
To eat that.
No, to make something like that.
How to make, well, as a pineapple, it's take a day.
One day for that one only.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm not a
wow.
professional for like, the sugar making. I took a course in the city name is Belfort. It's 4 hours from Paris. It's really interesting, like really, really interesting. I have nothing to do here anyway because my the hotel that I work is still closed. So I decided to take some course about sugar making.
Hmm. Okay. And it seems that you have created friends. You bonded with some of your coworkers in the hotel. How many Asians are there in the restaurant? I mean, in the place that you're working. And how difficult was it for you to bond with your other coworkers who are not Asians?
Um, for this year, it was just like me and her, the Japanese girl.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I came here as an internship from the school, but she's already the chef in Tokyo. She came for 2 months experience in the best hotel in Paris,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't speak. She doesn't speak English or French at all. It's quite difficult for her to work in the place because people they don't speak English with you when they work. They speak French.
Oh, and well, you learned French already, so you can speak in French with them. So
French
conversing with them shouldn't be a problem.
French is not uh,
Easy.
easy at all. I can say that I understand some for work, but it's still difficult for me. I still have to learn a lot more.
Mm. Yeah. So it took you 5 years to um, tell your parents that you really wanted to be a patissier.
But
But when, come again? Pat,
but yeah,
pat,
this yeah,
patissier.
yes,
Patissier.
exactly.
Okay, it took you 5 years to convince them. But when and why did you decide to become one? Has it always been your dream? Because I believe you told us a story that you went to Chulalongkorn University to study um,
Art
BS in
education.
education, major in art. Yeah, but can you tell us what happened?
I think in my generation, uh, how to say that? My dad, he was really want me to go into like to go to Chulalongkorn University or maybe Thammasat University, uh, as every parent in Thailand at that moment. So I decided to admission to Chulalongkorn University and I got accepted. So I studied there, but I don't like it at all. I don't like the things that I was studying. I went to the university like just because I have to. I learned nothing, barely because I don't like what I learned. And after 4 years, I feel like this is not the place that I belong to. So I decided to quit. It's not easy like that. In the last year, before I quit, um, I I was interested in making a cake. Like I start by making a cupcake. People eat it and they like it, and I feel like, oh, I can do something. You know, when I went to school, when I went to university, if you don't like the thing that you do, I got a really bad grade. like really bad, and I know that I don't like it, but I don't know what I want to do, so I have to go to university. But one day I realized that I like this. I like making a cake and making a pastry, and I like when people eat it and say that, oh, it's really beautiful, it's really good. So I asked my parents, like, if I can quit the university and study pastry in Le Cordon Bleu, Thailand. And of course, they said no, it's impossible. No, it's just 1 year. You're gonna graduate just 1 year. But then I told them that I don't need this. I don't need the degree. And it's my year. It's my 1 year. So it's not yours. Please let me choose the way of my life.
Oh, so your parents were totally against it,
No, it's
but you,
drama. Yeah, so drama at the moment. But well, I proved them by making cake every night for a year. Like every night, every day, every morning they open the fridge. They always see the cake, and then they realize, oh, maybe I really want it. So they allowed me to go to Le Cordon Bleu, the seat in Thailand, for the basic course for 3 months to see if I really, really like it or just temporarily. So I went there in 2014, and for the basic class, the final exam I got the third place out of 50.
wow,
It's the first time I got like that high mark. When I was in school for my
you
whole
never
life.
get an award.
Yeah, I mean, I went to school in high school, junior high school, or primary school, or even like in university. I always get the bad grade, like really, really bad. I don't really like studying. I know. The thing is, we always know what we don't like. We don't know what we like, but we always know what we don't like.
I like what you said. We don't know what we like, but we always know what we do not like. And you know that you do not want to continue your course in the university. So you decided to quit right when you were in your last year.
Yes, 4 years. My
Yeah,
my faculty we study 5 years. The last year is go to the school to teach students
mhm,
as an intern, but
yeah.
we decided not to do that because it's my 1 year, not
So you
anytime.
decided to not graduate at all and shift towards the technical course
Yeah,
at the CA.
I already asked myself that do I really want it? The the paper bachelor degree? Do I need it? If I get it, what I'm gonna do after with this? So I don't see what I can do anything with this. So that's why I resigned.
So you realize it was not your calling and that your calling is to become a pastry baker. And you proved that by baking every day for your parents until they relented and allowed you to transfer school to Dusit, Bangkok, right?
Yes. I was so happy making a cake. I was so concentrated making a pastry, and I'm so happy when people eat it and say like it's good, and it's like my passion. When I can do this and people think that I'm good at this, I want to be better. It makes me feel like, oh, I can do better. I want to do better. It's not like when I'm in school for math, like science or history, anything. I don't really like it. I'm not interested. So I don't really care about studying.
Mm.
So I got a really
So,
bad
yeah.
result.
Well, you're an artist, and well, that is your major in the university. And I think to be a patissier requires that you are very artistic as well. And we have seen actually in your blog and in your Facebook page a lot of your creations, and it looked so nice. So, what kind, aside from being artistic, what other skills is needed to become a successful patissier? And while we are discussing that, we would like to show our audience the creations, your creations. Um, the pastries that we have made. So again, Miss Fern, what skills do you need to become successful in that kind of job or
No, I think
career?
same with all kind of job. You need to work hard. No, there's no shortcut. If you want to make
Mhm.
something good, you do it over again. That's what I do. I like painting. I like making a cake. I like sculpturing. So, but it doesn't mean that I'm good at it. I just like it. So it's make me keep doing it by not get bored. But
Mhm.
it's not because I'm good at it, as I told you. I do this thing for many times. The photo that you see, it it's not the first time I made it. I made it for like 100 times. That's
So you're saying that the reason why it looks so beautiful is because not just because you have the skills, but because you have actually put a lot of time to do that over and over again,
yes,
100 times,
yeah,
multiple times.
yes.
Yeah, all these creations that you have, if you look at the picture, they look so beautiful, they look so appetizing and look so delicious.
Thank you. Mm,
Okay, so what other preparations did you have to make in order to become the kind of patissier you are right now?
pardon, I can't hear.
What other preparations did you make? What um, from when you stopped going to school? I mean, from when you stopped in the university, what preparations did you make so that eventually you reach the kind of level skills that you have right now? Aside from practicing all the time, is that what there is to it? You just need to practice all the time, or are there any special skills that you need?
No, if you practice all the time, but you practice in a wrong way, you're not gonna be good. You need to go to the good teacher to teach you, to guide you in the good way, in the right way. So that's why I decided to go to Le Cordon Bleu because it's French pastry, and I I think it's a good school, good chef can teach me.
So it
And
was a good foundation for you to go to that school, but you even wanted to go further, and that was the reason why you went to Paris to
yes,
become a
yeah,
chocolatier.
it's quite difficult. I know. I totally understand.
And you did get two certificates, right?
Yes, CAP, CAP chocolatier and CAP pâtissier.
Mm.
It's it's like, well, when you were in Thailand, you want to open your cake shop, cafe, whatever you sell cake, pastry, bread or something. If you like it, you can just open it. If you have money, you can open it. If you can make it, you can open it. But here in France, you need to have the certificate to open the shop or working in the restaurant or working in the hotel as a cuisinier chef or pastry chef is the same. Or even making a bread to sell. If you sell it without the certificate, it's illegal here.
Oh, so it's not enough that you have the skills and you have the talent. You have to have the certificate, and you have to have the approval of the government
Yeah.
and permit from them.
Yes, it's quite difficult because you have to study all in French. There are some school that have the English English program for like people who speak English, and but it's different because I study in French program. I have to learn about the law here and economy, even like the technology. I have to study a lot of things, not just like making the cake in the kitchen.
Okay. So you mentioned that back here in Bangkok, it's okay to if for as long as you have the skills, you have the money, you can open your cake shop. Um, and it's okay. But why did you have to make sure that you have the certificate if you can actually just open your cake shop here? Why
In
did you want? No, no, I mean here in Bangkok.
in Bangkok. Oh, because I
Yeah.
don't want to open the restaurant or hotel or cake shop here in Thailand. Of course, I really want to go back in Thailand. As I work here in the hotel, we make a production every day. So I realized that I don't really like working in the some kind of thing like this because you know if you're working in the shop, your own shop or something like this, you make the lemon tart, you sell the lemon tart. It means that you make a lemon tart every day.
Yeah.
It's boring, don't you
It's
think so?
boring.
Yes. So my purpose is I really want to open the school. Maybe not the school, but a small studio. I want to teach. I really like to teach. It's funny because I study like faculty of education when I was in Chulalongkorn University. Um,
And
but
you
yeah,
quit because you want to be a baker, and now you want to come back to be a teacher.
but not an art teacher. It's not the
Yes.
same thing. We studied totally different. So
Mhm.
I kind of like teaching people who have no basic at all and they can make something in the end. It's really interesting.
Mm. So you want to see the magic from no knowledge at all to becoming people becoming more skillful in their
Yeah.
craft.
So I
Okay.
don't need a paper to open the shop in Thailand, but if I have a paper, at least they can trust me. They can believe me that okay, I'm not making it up. Or I can teach you.
Okay. So I kind of get where you're going now. The reason why you quit school was because you wanted to bake, and that gives you happiness. But eventually, you, the purpose and the reason why you are studying now, you are making sure that you are skilled in what you're doing is because you want to come back here and open a school and teach baking as well. Okay, that's nice. So, how has your life been in Paris so far before COVID?
Hmm.
So, you have been there for 2 years,
Yes.
and I don't think you would have stayed there if you didn't enjoy the place and if you didn't like your life there. How was your life in Paris before COVID came?
It's Paris. The city is really beautiful. If you've been here before, you're gonna see like every corner you have a really beautiful sculpture, beautiful architecture. It's it's amazing. Oh, and the weather is nice.
The weather is nice. It's not as hot. I mean, it's not like in Bangkok, it's so hot.
Yes, and Paris is really small, like really really small. I think it's 10 times smaller than Bangkok, so you can walk. You can just walk 30 minutes walk, something like this. And the metro is not that bad. It's not really good, but you can walk, and I prefer the scooter.
Yeah. So, from when you arrived there, how long did it take you to adjust, especially since you didn't have friends yet?
Well, I still am like adjusting.
You're still adjusting.
So it's really difficult. Like as I told you that the language is difficult and the culture is really difficult. I think the reason that why I get the virus is maybe the way we greet ourselves
Mhm.
in France. You know, like we kiss in the cheek.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, and we have to. We cannot say like no, I don't. I don't do that. So that's why. In the beginning, I feel really awkward. Why I have to like kiss in the cheek, and you know, French people they have like beard or something like this. I'll be like every time, but yeah.
But now you're so used to it, and probably again, as you said, that was the reason you got infected with COVID-19.
So right now we stop doing that. We stop
Yeah.
make kids on the
Oh,
cheek.
now, not now that you said that, I think the reason why there isn't a lot of infections here in Thailand is because we do the
Yeah, it's like you
breathing
have.
like that, far from each other.
Yeah. Right now we like kiss all the time to say hello, goodbye, happy birthday, whatever. That's why.
Okay, so you said that you're still adjusting until after you have been there for 2 years, but you have made friends. I saw in your pictures that you have friends. Are they your close friends or just, acquaintances? Have
Uh,
you made really close friends there?
well, that's a little bit difficult to answer. They are good friends.
Mm-hmm.
They are good friends. But for the language barrier, that's we're not like that close. We are
Uh,
good friends, but we're not that close.
because of the language barrier, you cannot be that close to them as you are that close to your friends here in
Yeah, as
Bangkok.
like same with them, they have like the close friend who speak the same language too.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it's quite difficult to find a friend here. I mean, maybe it's because of me work all the time and can't find the time to like meet Thai people or something.
Yeah. So even with that, what things are you enjoying now there that you wouldn't be able to enjoy if you are back here in Bangkok? I mean, before COVID, because you're missing out on your friends, of course. You cannot find the same group of friends as you had in Bangkok. But I believe that there are some things that you have enjoyed there that you would never be able to find here.
Yes, the things that I always tell my friends and family that I like being in Paris, I mean being in France more than being in Thailand is people here they don't judge.
Mm.
I people they're really judgy. Like really, what you wear today, which car you drive, what shoes you wear, your bags, whatever. Always, all the time. Every time I went back to Thailand and I wanted to see my friends, like go out, have like dinner, lunch, or something. I have to put makeup on, blow my hair, like get
Mhm.
dressed, being nice, doing like nice thing. But here I can be like sweatshirt, jeans, sneaker, and go out. It takes like 15 minutes to get ready. In Thailand, maybe 2 hours. I really
Oh,
like this, and they don't think that oh you like look bad or you're not. I'm not gonna treat you well or something like this.
mhm.
That's
So you're saying that Thai people are more judgmental? I mean, compared to French?
why. Yes, I can. I think we agree with that.
I think it's an Asian thing.
Yeah,
We always look at the outside and the surface level.
yeah. So it's really superficial for me. I
Mhm.
don't mind doing that because I've been growing up with like this for a long time. But I just say that it's easier living here.
It's easier. Okay, so you have been in Paris for 2 years. You missed out a lot of things here. You haven't been with your family for 2 years as well. Even during the time when you had COVID, you had to nurse yourself alone. If there is anything that you would like to change about your life now, since you decided to become a patissier, what would it be? What decisions would you have wanted to change? What part of uh, the path that you are taking now would you have changed?
Well, I always say that if I know, I'm not gonna go to university.
Oh,
I'm gonna come here since I was like in after finish high school because study cuisine, pastry, whatever here, even university in France, it's way cheaper in Thailand.
yeah.
Cuisine and pastry you can study for free and you get the money like you're gonna get a salary too. It's really good, but just only if you're young. That's why I really want to share the experience to high school student. If you want to come here, if you're listening, it's free. Like you don't have to pay that much. Maybe you have to study French language because they all teach in French. But if you know the language, which is not really difficult to study when you were young, so you can came here and like it's free. The tuition free. It's mean free, not fee, and you're gonna get the money by working as an apprentice too. I think it's really interesting. And if you are younger than 26, you're gonna get many discount in many ways. the state will pay you for the help you pay for the rent, half of it or something like this. It's really interesting if you like still young and you want to come here. But me, I came at age 28, which is like not young anymore, so it's quite difficult. I have to pay the full price, and yes.
Mm. So you're saying that even if you're a foreigner, if you go there at an age before you reach 26, the government actually would subsidize for your education.
Yes, yes,
So that,
but you have to speak French.
but you need to study French. And you were saying earlier as well that if you had to go back in time and decide to change some things in your life, you would have that would be to not go to university and instead go directly to Paris or study baking immediately, and that would have saved you your 4 years. Is that is what you meant, right?
I said that. I always say that, but actually, I'm happy with what I am right now. I'm happy with me, like 2020 right now, and if I really can change it, I'm maybe not gonna change. If I change, maybe it's not like this. Maybe I'm doing something else.
So regardless of what happened, you're happy with what your life is now. Now, I'm it takes a lot of courage for anyone to go against societal expectations. Like your family expected you to pursue education, to finish university, and yet you bravely told them that you want to bake, you're happy with baking, and that that is your true calling. So that even if you will drop out from university, they should respect that and they should support you. So you must have a lot of resolve to leave the comfort. And now you are in Paris. You left the comforts of your home, your hometown, your friends, your parents, and you ventured into the unknown, into a place that is totally unfamiliar, and you had to start from scratch. Now we have our students here now. What advice can you give to our pupils at their young age? And well, most of them, as of the moment, are either still confused with what they really want, or maybe some of them are already fixed towards where they're going. Uh, but and it still can change, right? But what advice can you give them at their young age now, so that they would more or less know how to navigate life?
Well, I would like to say that don't make the decision too quick. Okay? You think about it, you be with it until you realize that you really want it, you like it so much and you want to have it, then you go for it. But if just like the temporarily, moment for maybe I want to do this, maybe I like this, well, don't make decision first. It's really difficult to make a decision to quit a university in Thailand. People really uh, think that having a bachelor degree is really important. So if you're not graduate in university, people judge you. I got judged too. People like, oh, you graduate high school? Yeah. But it's not the easy thing. You have to prove to that um, the thing that you want to do, it's worth quitting something. So don't make decisions so quick, so fast. Second, uh, as I told you guys that you don't know what you like, but you know what you don't like. Don't wasting your time for doing something you don't really like. It's your time. You don't know how long you're gonna live. It's your life, one life. Don't let people make a decision for you, but you have to be careful by making a decision too. You can ask people, many people. You have friends, family. You can ask everybody, and then you think about it that what is good for you. So if you don't know what you want to do right now, what you want to go for right now, it's okay. You don't have to fight yourself right now. You're still young. But if you want to find, so I suggest you to try. many things you feel like you want to try. You do things that you never done before. I think trying out is a good thing because you don't know what you like, right? You try and then you know that you like or you don't like. Maybe you good at something you never know before. Me too. I never baked for like 24 years. I never baked, never making a cake or some small thing, even a cookie, brownie. But since I did it, I found it, and it might happen to you too. So try. You still have time. You're still young. Go and try. That's all I want to say.
Okay. So what are your plans in 2 years' time or in 5 years' time? Are you going to stay some more in Paris or are you going home anytime soon? And if yeah,
Well, this is quite difficult question too because I got an opportunity to work here, and I know if I work here, I'm gonna get better. If I work here for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, of course I'm gonna get better because they are really good chef. And the chef that I work with right now is the world best pastry chef in 2017, 2018. It's been like the world best pastry chef. He's the he's the best, and I really want to work with him as long as I can. But I have friends and family too at home. And I have my life at home, and I really want to go back. I miss my dog so much.
miss
And
your dogs.
and that's really difficult. Uh, yes, and I'm 30 years old. If I'm 20, I'm not gonna think about anything at all. But when you 30, you're not young anymore. You look at your friends; they already get married.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have a baby, two babies. I was like, and and not only that, they have like business or things to take care of. I'm still like a employee. It's different. I want to do something for my own too at age 30. So if I stay, I'm not gonna stay that long. Maybe a year or maybe not. Let's see. I am still thinking about it too.
Yeah. But the long-term plan is for you to come back here to open your own school and to teach Thai people
Yes.
whatever craft, whatever skills you have learned back in Paris.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now, in the interest of time, we would like to proceed to the question and answer portion so that we would allow our students to raise questions that they have in mind. And at this point, I would like to call on our Q&A facilitator, Emil, to do the moderating of the question and answer portion. Emil, are you here already?
Yep,
You are
hello. I'm here.
Yep. So please switch on your camera.
Yep. Hi. Hey.
Hi.
Hello, Fern.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I am Emil, and I'll be your Q&A facilitator for today. Just to remind everyone of the rules for this portion again, send in your questions in the chat box, and you will be called later on. And when I call your name, please switch your camera and microphone on. Greet our guest politely and say your question. And if you have a follow-up, just proceed on. And when you're done, say thank you, then switch your camera and mic off again. So do we have any questions right now? Okay, so since we don't have a question yet from the students, we'll give them a little bit of time. Um, you know, how is it like working in a country that's very influential in the culinary world? Just give us a brief description of it.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry? Okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. So how is it like working in a country very influential in the culinary world? Give us a brief description of that.
It's really amazing. There's
Mhm.
a lot of 3-star Michelin restaurant, and the
Right.
the event like about food and hospitality. We have the chocolate event, we have like pastry event, we have like a cuisine event. It's really amazing to be there, and you meet like the celebrity chef, like the famous chef everywhere. And there's a lot of school, a class teaching by
Right.
the master. think it's really amazing if you're really interested in this kind of domain.
Right. Great. Do you have any other questions from students? Okay, well, we'll give them a little bit more time. So, oh, well, everyone, we have, as Miss Amai mentions, we have extra house points for questions for Miss Fern. But I'll ask a second question then, just to give other students a chance to catch up, and gather their thoughts for questions. But what would be your favorite part, I guess, working as a pâtissier in what a Michelin star restaurant, a Michelin rated restaurant?
Um, which is my favorite part. It's,
Yeah.
well, I learned a lot of things working here. It's not like you go to work and then you just work and then you go back home. I learned a lot of things when I work, and not only just learn, but I feel like I go to play every day.
Right.
I
Play.
wake up in the morning and I feel like, oh, I really want to go to work today.
Hmm.
I stay late every day. I never go back on time because I feel like I still want to stay, learn a lot of things. There are many things that really interesting. It's totally different from Thai because
Okay.
Thai people they don't really appreciate the food that much. I mean, they can go for shabu. It doesn't
Right.
have to be
Yeah.
or something like this,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
Yes.
It's not like three-star Michelin or eat like a full course dinner. Thai
Right.
people don't really care about full course dinner and plating or something like this.
Great. Okay, so we have two questions from our students. So we'll go on first with Paris. So Paris, please turn on your microphone and your camera, state your name, your class, and ask your question.
Hello. So my question was, how did you struggle with the language, and how long did it take for you to learn it?
Oh well, I'm still struggling. So it takes a year to study language until you can order food, you can go to supermarket or something like this. But if I have to be in the, the conversation that they talk about politics, religion, or something like this, I cannot discuss. Still,
Oh.
I think it's easier for you guys because you were young. You can absorb language easier than 28 years old.
Okay.
So the first year, maybe it's the worst part, but after that, it's getting better.
Do most French people are they kind of good at English or something?
Well, in Paris, some of them might speak English, but if you go outside Paris, no, not at all. I still remember the first day I tried to buy the SIM card. I go there to the shop and ask them like I would like to buy the SIM card, and they were like, no English.
Oh, okay.
So shocked, and then luckily I have Google Translate. I was like, I want to buy it. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So next we have Lee to ask another question. So yeah, Lee, I'm sure you heard me. Turn on your mic, your camera, and state your class and your name.
So my name is Lee from Secondary 3 Fate, and my question was, since I believe that we're at the age now where we should start taking steps towards our dream careers, what would be the first step for people our age that they'll want to be involved in the culinary industry?
Oh, the first step is good question. I have to think about it. Have you? I think good step is making the you can cook at home for your parents, for your friends. That's the first step. If you make it and you like it, making it, so you can continue. If you just feel like, oh, maybe I want to be a chef, and you never done something, it's quite sad. But if you do it, I suggest you to go to the really good school. In Thailand, there are many good school too for culinary. and so you can learn with the good teacher. Yes.
Can someone please put me in group A?
All right, thank you, Lee. Go on, Jean.
Do I have to turn on my camera? Can
Uh,
I not?
if possible, yes, please turn on your camera. But if not, then that would be hello.
So, hi, my name's Jean. I'm from secondary 3 Faith. So my question for you is your work stressful? Like, do you find it stressful, and does it have an effect? Like, does your career have an effect on your like health, both physically and mentally?
Well, that's interesting because it depends on where you work. I have 3 workplace experience. As I told you, I had internship in Hotel Plaza at Tini. It was so strict and I was so stressed. Every time I go back home, every night I can't sleep. I can't close my eye. I was thinking about all the thing every day, what I made mistake because of the language barrier too. But the place that I work right now is really good. People, they are young and they're nice. They explain everything. They know that we are foreigner and they explain a lot. And then, as long as you can ask, you're not gonna make mistake. For example, they asked me to get the lemon because I was stressed and scared. So I go get the lemon, and then when I reached the fridge, I was like, how many lemon they want? And then I come back, ask them how many lemon. They're gonna get angry. But if you're not scared to ask, you can ask them in the beginning, like how many and which lemon you want or something like this. So I think it depends on the place and atmosphere. And for Plaza at me, I was so stressed and I can't sleep at night. So I worked just for like 2 months, and I think it's enough for me because I don't want to have a mental problem. But
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jean, for your question. Do we have any more students asking or any questions at all? Okay, well, I guess in the interest of time, we'll have one last question. And if there's no one, I'll be asking. Okay. So how were you able to, yes, Miss Maya, you may ask. Go on ahead. Is Miss Maya there? Just give me a sec, okay.
I'm Counselor Maya, and thank you for the sharing time.
hello.
Congratulations, and I really appreciate your passion and determination. But to help with our young students, may I ask some tips regarding probably admission? I know you dropped Chula for Le Cordon Bleu. How was that in terms of financial practicalities? And what would be your tips for students who are artistic like you and would like to intern or get scholarship in Paris or in Europe or in other probably areas where they can be trained? Some tips probably, yes. And then probably job prospects in the next 7 to 10 years. As you know, our students are young, but we're looking very excitedly when they get out from university training or whatever it is that would allow them to get into their profession. So 2 main points: admission tips for internship and training, and then job prospects in the next few years. Thank you.
Okay. Well, the first is, unfortunately, I don't see that the Columbus in Thailand have the scholarship for high students. But I already said that if you really want to come to France to study, it's free. You don't need a scholarship, and you have to just learn French language, and you can come here, and the state will help you for the rent, for even for food. I mean, if you're still young, you start at 18, of course, you don't have to pay for the tuition.
So does that mean on a tourist visa?
No, on the student visa.
Okay, student visa. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you for clarifying.
And the job for like 2 years. Well, people have the different mindset of making like this. Maybe if you like to open your own shop, you can make it good, you can make it great. You can see after you know,
Mm-hmm.
you can see many cake shop and cafe that's nice and you make a lot of money profit. And but if you want to be a chef in the restaurant or in the hotel, it's difficult too. But you can see many famous chefs or good chefs. They get paid a lot. In the beginning, it's not nice. It's not beautiful. You have to work hard. You have to stand for like 7, 8, 12 hours a day. You're gonna have a back pain, legs pain. But if you work hard, it's paid off.
Of course.
Sorry, Miss Maya, you
Sorry.
are on mute.
Okay. Well, thank you for those information, but we're looking forward to you coming back to Thailand and train more chefs like you. I think, after all, your chula training and education are not wasted. But yeah, it would be good for you to share your expertise, and I'm sure Thailand will enjoy those wonderful
Thank
pastries and all the good things that you do. So
thank
yeah,
you so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Miss Maya. And so, in the interest of time, we will now be ending our Q&A portion here. I would now like to invite Miss Amai back to the floor.
Okay, thank you, Emil, and thank you everyone for participating. Everyone who asked question will get 2 house points on top of the 1 house point for joining the event for this afternoon. Okay, this version of the pep talk is about Thai expats who are doing it successfully in other countries. But at one point in their lives, they only dreamed about going abroad and working there. But now they are living that dream. What we learned today is that sometimes you just cannot map out what you want in life. Sometimes you just really do not know what we want, especially if we are young. And sometimes, even though we thought we already know, we think that we already know the direction that we are supposed to be heading, we, in the end, we realize that that is not our true calling. And it is fine. It is okay to be confused. It is okay not to know yet. Um, we have our entire life to find out. And as what Miss Fern said, um, when you try everything, you might realize what you really want. There are things that we haven't tried yet, and unless we try, we don't know what we don't like and what we like. And again, as Ms. Fern said, we only know what we don't like, so don't go for it. Just look for the things that you would like in life. So it is great. It's great to plan things out now. It is great to know what we want, but it is also okay to shift, to change, and even to stop. And when we find our true calling, we have to give it all our shot. Because that shot might be the one that will lead us to contentment and happiness. So we thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. We also thank Miss Fern for sharing us her experience, her life, and her successful journey in Paris. And we hope to see you when you come back here, and we can send one of our and some of our students to your future school so that they would learn from you as well. You are, and you will be a wonderful inspiration to our students. Do you have any last words to our students, Miss Fern?
Thank you everyone for listening. I kind of understand maybe you have to attend because you're gonna need a point, but thank you anyway. Enjoy your point. Thank you for listening. Uh, I'm really happy to have a chance to speak today because I hope it might help maybe 1 or 2 students out there, but it might help someone. Maybe not now, maybe in the future.
Yes, you will indeed become an inspiration to them, and maybe now they would not realize that they would be taking the same path as yours, but who knows? And we thank you for the wonderful experiences you have shared with us. Again, thank you, Miss Fern, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. And now Pep Talk 3 is signing off. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.